Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to tackle something I think a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with, and that's building a sales engine from the ground up. And to help us with this, we are going to be using Founding Sales by Peter Kazanjy as our guide. And this book has earned some serious praise from um, some real giants in the sales world, people like Trish Bertuzzi and Jeremy Donovan.
Yeah, you know what really struck me about this book is that Kazanjy, he's not just talking the talk, he really walks the walk. He took his company, TalentBin, from zero to a $6 million run rate before it was acquired. He actually transformed himself from kind of a general business founder into a sales leader, building a team of like over 20 people along the way.
And he's really upfront about, this wasn't a solo mission. He gives a lot of credit to his team, people like Brad Snyder, Rob Perez, Manny Ortega, Adam Abelis, for their massive contributions. And it really does underscore that sales success is a team sport. So our deep dive today is all about extracting the gold from Kazanjy's experience. We're going to focus on a few key areas, kind of going beyond just the basics.
Right, let's assume you're past, cold calling 101. What are the less obvious but equally crucial aspects of building a winning sales operation?
Exactly. So let's jump right in with um, one of the most impactful, I think, concepts that Kazanjy highlights, and that's the abundance mindset. And he contrasts this with the scarcity mindset, which I think a lot of first-time founders kind of fall into. Is that fear that there aren't enough customers out there, which can really be paralyzing.
Yeah, the abundance mindset is about flipping that script, right? It's about believing that there are more than enough potential customers out there for you to achieve your goals. And this shift, it impacts everything from how you prospect to how resilient you are in the face of rejection.
Yeah, I could see how that would be incredibly empowering. When you believe that there's plenty of opportunity out there, you're more likely to take action, to put yourself out there,
Yeah.
and not be, as afraid of hearing no.
Yeah.
It's like that saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. And that leads to another crucial concept that Kazanjy emphasizes, prioritizing activity over perfection. It's so easy to get caught up in, crafting the perfect pitch or like the perfect sales deck. But in the early stages, it's much more important to just get out there and start having conversations.
It's like that minimum viable product, MVP approach applied to sales. Get something out there, test it, learn from it, and then iterate.
Yeah.
Don't let the pursuit of perfection prevent you from taking those first steps.
Absolutely. The early stages are all about learning and refining your approach. You're going to make mistakes, you're going to get rejections, but each interaction is a valuable data point that helps you improve.
Okay, so how does this abundance mindset actually play out in real world sales scenarios?
Yeah.
Can you give an example of how it might influence someone's approach?
Sure. So let's say you're targeting a specific industry and you've identified a few key decision makers at various companies. With a scarcity mindset, you might hesitate to reach out to all of them, fearing that you'll somehow use up your potential leads, right? But with an abundance mindset, you would reach out to everyone on your list, knowing that even if some say no, there are plenty more opportunities out there.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. It kind of takes the pressure off of each individual interaction,
Mm.
and allows you to approach each conversation with more confidence and less fear of rejection.
Yeah.
It's about focusing on the long game, building those relationships and trusting that the right opportunities will emerge.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And this ties into another powerful concept from the book, and that's value pricing. It's about shifting your focus from simply covering your costs to really understanding the true value your solution delivers to the customer.
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting for me. I've heard a lot about value pricing, but honestly, I've always struggled to like really wrap my head around it. It seems so much more complex than just calculating your costs and adding a markup.
It is a different way of thinking about pricing, but it can be incredibly powerful, especially for early stage companies. So instead of getting stuck in kind of a race to the bottom, competing solely on price, you're positioning yourself based on the value you create for the customer.
So it's about quantifying the benefits that your solution provides, right?
Yeah.
Things like increased revenue, reduced costs, improved efficiency. But how do you actually translate those benefits into like a concrete price?
Yeah. Yeah. So Kazanjy offers some great examples in the book. One that comes to mind is Hireable, a company that develops revenue acceleration tools for recruiting agencies. And they base their pricing on the amount of missed fees they can help their clients recover.
So they're essentially demonstrating the return on investment, the
Yeah.
ROI, up front. So instead of saying, our software costs X dollars per month. They're saying, we can help you recover Y dollars in lost revenue, and our fee is a percentage of that.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. It directly ties their pricing to the value they deliver.
Exactly. It shifts the conversation from cost to value, and it allows you to command higher prices because you're not simply selling a product, you're selling a solution to a specific problem that has a quantifiable impact on the customer's bottom line.
Yeah, yeah, I'm starting to see how powerful this can be. It's about, understanding your customers' pain points,
Hmm.
articulating how your solution addresses those pain points, and then pricing your offering based on the value of that solution.
Precisely. And it's not just about the initial sale, right? Value pricing can also influence your customer success strategy, which is another crucial aspect of building a sustainable sales operation.
Welcome back to our deep dive into founding sales. Last time we talked about the importance of an abundance mindset and the power of value pricing. Now let's kind of shift gears and talk about how to actually turn those mindsets into like tangible results.
One thing that really struck me about Kazanji's approach is his emphasis on building momentum in the sales process. He talks about the concept of micro contracts, which I found really intriguing. It's not something I'd really considered before.
Yeah, that's one of the things I appreciate about this book is that it introduces these practical tactics that you can like implement right away.
Yeah.
And micro contracts are all about securing these small agreements throughout the sales process, just to kind of keep things moving forward. So instead of just ending a call with a vague "let's talk again next month," you're getting a concrete commitment from the prospect. It could be something as simple as, you know, agreeing to review a proposal by a certain date, or scheduling the next call with a clear agenda.
Exactly. It's about creating a sense of accountability and forward momentum, right?
Oh,
It prevents things from stalling out and keeps the prospect engaged in the process. It also helps to address, those common objections like call me back later or, we're not ready to make a decision yet.
right. So instead of just kind of passively accepting those objections, you're using them as opportunities to secure a micro contract.
Mhm.
You might say something like, "I understand you're not ready to decide just yet, but would you be willing to, take a look at our case studies and share your initial thoughts by next Friday?"
Yeah, it's a subtle but powerful shift in the conversation, right? You're not pressuring them into a decision, but you are um, keeping the door open and establishing a clear next step.
Now, what about when you reach the point of actually closing the deal? Are there any specific tactics that Kazanji recommends to increase your chances of securing that yes?
One thing he emphasizes is the importance of speed and efficiency in the closing process. Once you've kind of reached an agreement on price and terms, don't delay in getting those order forms, contracts, payments
Right,
processed.
I can see why that would be important. The longer you wait, the more likely it is that the prospect might, have second thoughts or encounter like unforeseen
And
obstacles.
exactly, it's about striking while the iron is hot, creating a smooth and seamless experience for the customer.
Okay, speaking of contracts, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, they kind of dread the the legal aspects of sales. Any advice from Kazanji on simplifying that process?
He suggests keeping contracts as straightforward as possible. Avoid using kind of complex legal jargon that might confuse or intimidate the prospect. Instead, focus on clear and concise language that outlines the key terms of the agreement.
So it's about making the contract easy to understand and digest rather
Yeah.
than overwhelming the prospect with legalese.
Exactly. He even suggests using a standard master service agreement or MSA and linking to it from a simplified order form. This way, the prospect can quickly review those key terms and sign without getting bogged down in legal complexities.
Makes sense. Now, of course, not every sales conversation is going to end in a win. How does Kazanji recommend handling those close lost opportunities?
He sees them as valuable learning experiences. He encourages analyzing those lost sales, understanding the reasons behind the decision and using those insights to refine your sales process.
So it's about turning those no's into opportunities for improvement. Instead of just kind of brushing them off as missed opportunities, you're digging deeper to understand what went wrong and how you can do better next time.
Right. It's about identifying patterns, spotting weaknesses in your approach, and making adjustments to increase your win rate in the future. Maybe you need to refine your messaging or improve your demo or adjust your pricing strategy.
It's like that continuous improvement loop applied to sales.
Yeah.
You're constantly learning, iterating, and optimizing based on real-world feedback.
Speaking of optimization, let's talk about pipeline management and time organization. These are often overlooked, but they're essential foundations of a successful sales operation.
Yeah, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in those early stages, really struggle with staying organized and managing their time effectively. So what are some of Kazanji's key recommendations in this area?
He stresses the importance of diligent pipeline hygiene. This means regularly updating opportunity stages, tracking key metrics, and prioritizing opportunities strategically. It's about having a clear view of your sales funnel and knowing where each opportunity stands.
Right. It reminds me of like keeping a tidy garden, you know. You need to regularly weed out the opportunities that aren't going anywhere and nurture the ones that have the potential to bloom.
That's a great analogy. And he also emphasizes error checking, right?
Hmm.
This might involve identifying opportunities that have been stuck in a particular stage for too long or those that haven't seen any recent activity. It's about being proactive and addressing those potential red flags before they become bigger problems.
It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day hustle and let things slip through the cracks, right? So having a system for regularly reviewing and cleaning up your pipeline is essential.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to time management, he's a big advocate for time blocking. This involves allocating specific blocks of time for various sales activities like prospecting, calling, demoing, following up, and handling those administrative tasks.
Right. It's about structuring your day to maximize your sales efforts and minimize distractions, right? I've experimented with time blocking in the past and I found it incredibly helpful for staying focused and productive. You know, it's so easy to get pulled in a million different directions, but time blocking really helps you um, prioritize and dedicate your time to the most important tasks.
Exactly, and it can be particularly beneficial for sales where you're constantly juggling, multiple prospects, deadlines, and follow-ups. So having a clear schedule helps you stay on top of everything and ensures that nothing falls through the cracks.
Okay, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, like customer success. You know, it's more than just a buzzword. It's a crucial part of building a sustainable sales operation. So, what are some of Kazanji's key insights in this area?
He uh, he argues that customer success should be viewed as an integral part of the sales process, right? It's not just about closing the deal. It's about ensuring that your customers achieve their desired outcomes and become like raving fans of your solution.
And this is especially important in those early stages, right? When you're building your reputation and establishing trust in the market.
Absolutely. Positive word of mouth is invaluable for early stage companies. When your customers are happy, they become, advocates for your brand, which can lead to more referrals and ultimately more sales.
So, how do you actually build a customer success program that delivers those results?
Kazanji recommends designing a comprehensive onboarding process that sets your customers up for success from day one. This might involve pre-onboarding homework to familiarize them with your solution, product training to teach them how to use it effectively, tooling mastery to ensure they're comfortable navigating your platform, and even like group drills to simulate real-world scenarios.
Right. So it's about going beyond simply handing them the keys and hoping for the best, right?
Yeah.
You want to provide them with the knowledge, the skills, and the support they need to actually succeed.
Exactly. And ongoing support is just as crucial. He suggests offering personalized implementation calls to address any specific challenges, scheduling regular check-ins like a quarterly business reviews to track progress and identify areas for improvement and proactively identifying potential problems before they escalate.
So it's about being a trusted advisor to your
Yeah.
customers,
Right.
anticipating their needs and providing solutions before issues become major roadblocks.
And let's not forget about building a robust knowledge base, like a support site with, FAQs, how-to articles, new feature announcements.
Yeah, this empowers customers to find answers to their questions kind of independently, right?
Yeah.
Reducing their reliance on your support team and enhancing their overall experience.
It's about creating a self-service resource that provides, instant access to valuable information. Now let's move on to scaling your sales operation, which is essential for sustained growth. Kazanji cautions against um, premature scaling, advising founders to ensure that their sales motion is working effectively before adding more headcount.
So it's about validating your process and proving its effectiveness before expanding your team, right?
Yeah.
It's like making sure your recipe works before you start mass producing it, right? You don't want to end up with a warehouse full of unsellable product.
Exactly, and he emphasizes the importance of lag scaling, meaning hiring ahead of demand to avoid bottlenecks as your business grows. This ensures you have the capacity to handle increased sales volume and maintain a smooth customer experience.
So it's about anticipating future needs and building the infrastructure to support growth rather than kind of playing catch up.
Right now, as your team grows, it's essential to abstract and specialize sales roles. This might involve creating distinct roles for sales development representatives or SDRs to focus on prospecting and qualifying leads, account executives, AEs to handle sales conversations and close deals, customer success managers, CSMs to oversee onboarding and ongoing support, and even sales managers to lead and coach your growing team.
Okay, so this specialization allows individuals to focus on their strengths, right?
Yeah.
Leading to greater efficiency and expertise within each stage of the sales process. It's about assembling a team of specialists, each playing a specific role in the sales orchestra.
That's a great way to put it. Now, defining and benchmarking your sales methods is,
Yeah.
is also crucial. This means establishing clear activity metrics, such as the number of calls, emails, demos, proposals, and setting success criteria for each stage of the sales process.
Okay, so this creates a framework for measuring performance, identifying areas for improvement, and coaching your team effectively. It's about establishing clear expectations and providing the tools and guidance to help your team succeed.
And implementing a CRM and reporting system is essential for tracking progress, identifying issues, and making data-driven decisions. This provides a centralized platform for managing your sales pipeline, visualizing key metrics, and generating actionable insights.
It's about leveraging technology to streamline your sales operations and gain a clear understanding of what's working, what's not. Data is king in sales, and having the right tools and systems in place to capture and analyze that data is essential for making informed decisions.
Absolutely. And let's not underestimate the power of building a strong organizational culture that emphasizes learning, excellence, and customer centricity.
Right. So it's about creating an environment where individuals feel valued, motivated, and empowered to succeed. It's about fostering a spirit of collaboration, continuous learning, and a shared commitment to delivering exceptional customer experiences.
Now, let's move on to the vital task of hiring and onboarding a stellar sales team.
Right. Building the right team is the foundation of any successful sales operation. It's like assembling a team of all-stars, each bringing their unique skills and talents to the table.
Kazanjy advises starting by defining your ideal hiring profile. This involves outlining both the raw characteristics such as intellectual horsepower, practicality, work ethic, problem-solving skills, and the professional experience you're looking for in potential candidates.
So it's about identifying those individuals who possess the right combination of innate abilities and acquired skills to thrive in your sales environment. It's not just about finding people who can sell. It's about finding people who align with your company culture and values.
He also encourages casting a wide net to attract a diverse pool of qualified candidates. This might involve partnering with staffing agencies, leveraging referrals from your network, posting on job boards, and even actively sourcing passive candidates who aren't actively seeking new opportunities.
Right. So it's about thinking outside the traditional recruiting box.
Yeah.
And exploring all available avenues to find the best talent.
And once you've identified those potential candidates, implementing a rigorous screening process is crucial. This might involve using written screens to assess communication skills and attention to detail, conducting phone interviews to gauge personality and cultural fit, having candidates deliver mock pitches to evaluate their sales acumen, and even checking references to get a holistic view of their past performance.
Right. It's about leaving no stone unturned in your quest to find the perfect fit for your team.
And after you've found those ideal candidates, it's all about onboarding them effectively. Kazanjy suggests creating a a comprehensive onboarding program that covers product knowledge, sales methodology, tooling mastery, and even like simulated sales scenarios to prepare them for real-world customer interactions.
Right. So it's about giving them the knowledge, the skills, and the confidence they need to hit the ground running and contribute to your sales success. Right. It's like sending them to boot camp for sales,
Yeah.
equipping them with all the tools and training they need to excel.
Now, as you build your sales team, remember that motivation and incentives play a crucial role in driving performance. Kazanjy suggests implementing a combination of base salary and variable compensation, such as, commissions or bonuses to reward high achievers and create a culture of healthy competition.
Right. So it's about creating a compensation structure that incentivizes the right behaviors and motivates individuals to go above and beyond.
And establishing clear performance metrics and providing regular feedback is essential for keeping your team on track and helping them reach their full potential.
Right. It's about setting clear expectations, recognizing achievements, and providing constructive guidance to foster continuous improvement. It's about creating a culture of feedback where individuals feel supported and empowered to grow.
Now let's touch on a topic that's often overlooked but equally important: managing sales leadership as your team grows.
Right. As your sales operation expands, you'll likely need to bring on sales managers to lead and coach your growing team.
Yeah.
These are the individuals who will be responsible for setting the tone, motivating their teams, and ensuring that everyone is aligned with the overall sales strategy.
Kazanjy suggests looking for individuals with a proven track record of success in sales management, preferably in a similar industry or with a comparable sales motion. It's about finding leaders who have walked the walk and can effectively guide and mentor their teams based on real world experience.
Right. And it's crucial to provide those sales leaders with the tools, the resources, and the support they need to effectively manage their teams, track performance, and drive results.
Absolutely. They need to be equipped to succeed in their roles, and that means providing them with the necessary training, resources, and support systems.
Okay, now before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to revisit a key takeaway from founding sales, and that's the importance of building a strong sales culture.
Yeah, this goes beyond simply having a set of values or a mission statement, right? It's about creating an environment where individuals feel valued, motivated, and empowered to succeed. It's about fostering a spirit of collaboration, continuous learning, and customer centricity.
Right. It's about creating a culture where people are excited to come to work, where they feel supported and challenged, and where they're driven to achieve great things together.
And as your sales organization grows, it's crucial to maintain that strong culture. Regular team meetings, one-on-one coaching sessions, professional development opportunities, and even team building activities can help reinforce those core values and create a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose.
Right. It's about making sure that as your team grows,
Yeah.
your culture scales with it.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose that sense of connection and shared purpose as you bring on new people.
Exactly. In the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore some additional insights from founding sales that can help you build a thriving, scalable sales operation that drives sustainable revenue growth. We'll touch on topics like pricing strategies, competitive differentiation, and the evolving role of technology in modern sales. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into founding sales.
One area that always makes me a little nervous is pricing,
Mhm.
especially when you're like starting out. It feels like such a high stakes game,
Yeah.
you know.
Kazanjy has some really insightful advice on this.
Okay.
He cautions against getting caught in a race to the bottom, constantly lowering your prices just to compete. It's a trap so many founders fall into, but it
Yeah.
can really be detrimental in the long run.
Yeah, it's tempting to think that a lower price will just automatically attract more customers.
Right.
But it often devalues your product and makes it harder to build a profitable business.
Exactly. And that's where Kazanjy's emphasis on value pricing comes in. He encourages founders to think creatively about pricing, even when faced with objections. He talks about, offering options like split payments, payment deferrals, or even, customized packages to make the deal more attractive to the prospect.
Okay, so it's about finding that sweet spot where you're You're capturing the value you deliver,
Yeah.
but also addressing the customer's, budget constraints or whatever might be holding them back.
Yeah.
I love that he talks about the psychology of pricing too,
Yes.
like how presenting multiple options
Yeah.
can actually subtly nudge a prospect toward choosing a higher priced package.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how just framing and context can influence decision making.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that pricing isn't just about numbers. It's a strategic lever that can really significantly impact your revenue and profitability.
Okay. Speaking of strategy, what about dealing with competition? It's kind of inevitable that you'll encounter other players in the market, especially as your business grows. How how does Kazanjy recommend navigating that competitive landscape?
Well, he stresses the importance of really understanding your competitors' strengths and weaknesses, not just on a feature by feature level,
Yeah.
but also in terms of their overall value proposition, their target audience, and even, their sales approach.
Yeah, it's like doing your homework before a big game.
Right.
You need to know who you're up against, what their strengths and weaknesses are so you can develop a winning strategy.
Exactly. And then when a prospect brings up a competitor, he advises against getting defensive or engaging in a negative comparison.
Yeah.
Instead, he suggests kind of reframing the conversation by,
Yeah.
highlighting your unique strengths and differentiating factors.
Okay, so it's about staying focused on your own value proposition
Mm.
and demonstrating why your solution is the best choice for the customer, even if it's not the cheapest or the one with the most bells and whistles.
Right. It's about building trust and credibility by, being knowledgeable and confident in your own offering, rather than trying to, tear down the competition.
Yeah, throughout the book, Kazanjy keeps coming back to the importance of data in sales.
Yes.
It's clear that he's a big advocate for tracking everything and using data
Yeah.
to inform decision making.
Absolutely. He, emphasizes the need for meticulous record keeping, not just for tracking, sales metrics, but also for gaining insights into, customer behavior, market trends, and the effectiveness of your sales strategies. It's about using data to understand what's working, what's not, and where you can, make adjustments to improve your results.
He's a big fan of CRM systems, right?
Yes, he sees them as essential tools for managing your pipeline, automating tasks, and generating reports that provide a clear picture of your sales performance. And as your sales operation, kind of matures, he suggests exploring more advanced analytics tools that can, uncover hidden patterns, predict future outcomes, and guide your decision making.
So it's about moving beyond just like gut feelings and using data to make informed choices that drive revenue growth.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to kind of sum up Kazanji's approach to sales. It's data driven, it's strategic, and it's customer centric.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into founding sales, what's that one final nugget of wisdom you would share with our listeners?
I think it's this: embrace continuous learning and adaptation. The sales landscape is constantly changing with new technologies, emerging trends, and, shifting customer expectations. So to stay ahead of the curve, it's essential to stay curious, experiment, and adapt.
So it's about approaching sales as an ongoing journey of learning and growth rather than just a destination.
Exactly. So keep learning, keep iterating, and keep that abundance mindset front and center.
That's a great note to end on. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into founding sales. We hope you found it valuable. Remember, building a successful sales operation takes time, effort, and a willingness to learn and adapt.
And with the right mindset, the right strategies, and the right tools, you can build a thriving sales engine that fuels your entrepreneurial dreams.
Now go out there and crush it.